everyone. This is Elliot Serrano and Jose Melendez coming to you from Dreamland Comics in Schaumburg, Illinois. Thank you for joining us here yet again on the Comic Culture Warrior video channel.
It's not the YouTube channel anymore?
Well, we're going to call it the video channel because there are plans for the site. And I just got to condition myself to stop calling it that all the time.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Oh.
And I've also got to condition myself to say a new intro because I realize I do say the same intro over and over and over again. Baby steps, I say. Thanks for joining us here yet again, and lots of very interesting conversations went on the boards yet again. I'm really at some topics that I wasn't expecting people to talk so much about. Our Star Wars thread has actually gotten more comments on it than I expected.
I haven't seen any of it.
Yeah, there was some discussion about that. Fanboy D especially loves Star Wars, but hasn't been reading all the books, so I'd be curious as to why that is. And we had one particular viewer comment on the amount of time that we devote talking about the Dark Reign books and the Bat books and Green Lantern. So that actually ties in a bit with First Rants. Thanks to SAR, who sent us this little tidbit, this link to the IGN website where they reported.
Yeah, which no one Shitorama or in CBR they even have it.
Actually, I like checking out Heidi McDonald's website on PW Publishers Weekly. She does a blog, and she'll often post sales numbers too. But funny that Mason would bring up those points because these are somewhat. I mean, I guess I really shouldn't be surprised by these numbers. We've actually talked about this in the past. And yet again, comic fandom has shown that you can bitch and moan all you want about a book and how much it costs, and you'll bitch and moan all you want about that there are stories that you don't want, and blah, blah, blah. You'll still buy the book, okay?
But the number one is only $2.99.
Oh yeah,
top-selling book.
Batman and Robin number one, although I kind of expected that. I mean, come on, you've got Grant Morrison and Frank Quietly, Eisner Award-winning team for All-Star
right,
Superman.
But here's what I'm saying, though. If DC were Marvel, they could easily have fucked you over for an extra $1, and they were sold just as many.
That's true.
But, DC is kind of the good guys right about now, and they don't need to screw their fans for more money.
But then the number two seller, which really kind of surprised me, Captain America 600, which was a $5 book. Was a number two selling book. And you can only imagine if that book were a $2.99 book or even a $3.99 book, that I think Marvel dropped the ball. They could have had the top selling book, made Captain America the top selling book.
I was going to say, since Captain America number 600 was probably had the most mainstream media comic probably all year, and they still weren't number one on the list.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty awesome.
And especially Batman and Robin was...
So, you kind of have to call it a failure, right?
Yeah, no, you can't.
I mean, just a little bit of one?
They did come up short. No, I'm sorry. They did come up short. I think they got a little too... They reached for a little too much there, and that ended up... I mean, it's all bragging rights, really, when you think about it, because beyond that, I mean, Marvel still controlled the share... The market share for comics, and
easily. I think they had 50% this month. That's ridiculous.
So
man.
Really, having the number one selling book is really just a bragging rights kind of thing. But
I mean, it's good to see a quality book though take number one for a change, change of pace.
And then right after that, Matt Fraction's Dark Avengers Utopia came in at number 3, exactly what I said Marvel wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
This one was a pleasant surprise. Number 4, Batman number 687, the Judd Winnick book. Ed Benes. Really surprised me. And
I'll tell you one thing, that book will not be, hopefully will not be in the top 5 when the new artist comes on. Which we'll get into in last round. I don't know if it's going to, I hope to God it does.
See, but that's where, again, we're going back to, is it the property or the talent? Yeah, we'll talk about that.
But that was a solid book, though.
It was a very solid book, that's true. And in a funky I don't know how. Well, I guess it was a publishing thing on Marvel's part. Dark Avengers took the next 2 slots. Number 5 and number 6 took the next 2 slots, followed by New Avengers. And again, there's no accounting for taste. Ultimatum.
Man, 4 shit comics right in a row.
Yeah, but again, you have to. It's debating the whole commerce versus art thing. How much time did it take for this issue to come out? I mean, Ultimatum is coming out just late.
It's not even done yet.
Yeah, it's not even done yet. They're already talking about rebooting the Ultimate line, and the series that is supposed to basically wipe the Ultimatum slate clean still hasn't finished coming out.
Ultimate Spider-Man in Ultimate Avengers, their new series are starting up next month. Mm-hmm. But you kind of have to finish Ultimatum before you get those new series out, right?
Yeah, well, Legion of Three Worlds still hasn't come out yet, and they've already brought Bart Allen back.
Yeah, but but Marvel is relaunching their Ultimate line.
Right.
They kind of should finish up the old Ultimate Verse storyline before they can do it.
Then Green Lantern, Flash Rebirth dropped out of the top 5, but still stayed in the top 10. Okay. Dark Wolverine, number 11. Uncanny X-Men, the 512. Came in at number 12. This was very nice, although I wish it'd come in a little higher. Detective Comics 854.
I bet you any amount of money, though, I don't think this is accounting for reorders. I bet you if this accounted for reorders, Detective would have been higher. Because I'll tell you one thing, we sold out the first week. We ordered 30 more copies. They were gone in like 4 days.
Uncanny, then Thor, blah, 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 Wolverine, blah, Mighty Avengers, 17, Astonishing X-Men, Warren Ellis finally finished his Ghost Boxes run with 18. Red Robin came in at number 19, Green Lantern Corps, 37 at 20, 21 was Amazing Spider-Man, number 596. It was at the beginning of the American Sun
I believe thing. So.
Mighty Avengers at 22, Amazing Spider-Man, 597 and 598 take the next 2 slots. And, amazingly enough, despite all the creative problems that have been plaguing the book, Justice League of America...
Justice League used to be a lot higher, though.
Way higher, but still, top 25 book for a book that is gutted of the big 3.
Yeah.
Had a writer that was kind of complaining about it the whole time, that he was being hamstrung, yet still a top 25 book. So you look at this, Marvel and DC have basically pushed out anybody else. And
but it's always been like that.
No, and it's funny too. The Batman books and the Batman and the Green Lantern Corps books are ruling the roost for DC right now. They are the strongest titles that DC has going right now. Whereas,
you know what's missing from this list? Buffy.
Yeah, but and that was the other thing I noticed,
I think
too.
that was the one shot, though.
Yeah, well, the problem, too, was, right.
Because Buffy's always in, like, the top 12.
Top 12.
Always.
The Buffy, though, didn't it go on a bit of a hiatus, too?
There was a problem. But I think this was the month, though, that one shot came out. And
since it wasn't Tales of the Vampire?
Yeah, since it wasn't really a numbered issue, maybe that's why it dropped a little bit.
So, this reflects what the market kind of is consuming. This is it right here. You can see the strategies that DC and Marvel are employing, why they're pushing so much. Every book here that Marvel, X-Men, I mean, everything's a Dark Reign tie-in for the most part, with the exception of Thor. You can't fault them for that. You can't fault them for coming up with a winning formula. And while some fanboys, I'm going to say some because, again, we're the minority opinion here. While some fanboys might complain about it, the reality is the majority are buying it, are endorsing it by giving them their dollars. Top-selling books, a lot of these are $3.99 books. Ultimatum, a $3.99 book. New Avengers, $3.99. Dark Avengers, $3.99. Utopia... Captain America was a $4.99 book. Dark Wolverine, a $3.99 book. Yes, that was Uncanny 512 was a $3.99 book, right? You know, they are, as we've discussed in the past, they're pushing the market to see what the market will bear, and it's quite obvious the market is willing to bear a lot.
It's just we haven't done top 25 lists in a while, but it pretty much is the same from like 3 or 4 months ago when we actually did the last one.
Yeah, so. Same thing. It hasn't changed at all. So,
except that DC is at the top this month
for the one. And then, of course, like when we did last time, completely different story almost.
Yeah.
With the top-selling trade paperbacks. I find this to be fascinating. That the top-selling trade paperback of June was the Final Crisis hardcover. With as many people who were complaining about Final Crisis and how it made no sense and so on and so forth, the hardcover, this new trade collection, is a top-selling trade. A hardcover, right. It's a hardcover. It's a top-selling trade, which I think speaks to what a lot of people were saying. If you sit down and you read the whole thing together in one fell swoop, the story just works that much better. And I think, and a lot of folks, I'm hearing that. A lot of folks are saying, you know what, I read the trade, I read the whole thing, because they also include Submit and Resist and the Superman Beyond.
Yeah, which weren't originally solicited. Those 4 books were originally not solicited to be in there, but they were very, especially the Superman story. That was like very essential to that story. And
they all put it together in one nice package, and the market responded and went with that. All-Star Batman and Robin, I don't get it. Quite frankly, I don't get it. Why people have been reading that?
Yeah.
Deadpool, Secret Invasion. The next 2 slots went to 2 Green Lantern trades, which, if you ask me, that's how I think this storyline works best, is when it's read in a collection. And I love this. Empowered number 5 came in at number 6.
That is awesome.
Which I gotta say, kind of took me by surprise.
Yeah.
Took me by surprise. And then after that, you have, again, Dark Reign, Green Lantern Corps, House of Mystery, Volume 2 is kind of nice. And Bleach, Volume 27, came in, rounding off the top 10. There's kind of a strong slant towards DC here in the trades. And, again, it's nice to see a couple independents sneaking in there.
Yeah, but see, this, with minus All-Star Batman and Robin, all of these trades are actually all really good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're all good stories.
It's a different
really
mentality. You're right. We were talking about that the last time we talked about the trades.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, because the people, all these trades, for the most part, they're all quality trades.
Good, and they're good collections.
I mean, even the Marvel ones, like the Deadpool, Secret Invasion, I love Deadpool.
Yeah, that was kind of
and the Dark Reign Deadpool, Thunderbolts started off good and ended kind of shitty.
Right.
But I mean, it was good for the most part.
Yeah. So, it is bizarre. I just can't get that. But hey, that's comics for you. Not saying it's bad, not saying it's good. Just an observation. And right here, folks. You've shown it. $3.99 books are here to stay, and you'll even reward Marvel for throwing out a $4.99 book every once in a while. $3.99 books are here to stay, whether you like it or not. When we come back, we'll talk about the event that everyone keeps asking us to talk about, and yes, even I read it. It's Blackest Night. See you then.